Thank you again for your patience. We're trying to go as fast as we can, switching up. It is an incredible pleasure for me tonight to introduce you to our guest conductor, who is also our very favorite aunt. Right, everybody? Yeah. Apologies to all of you aunts in the audience. No offense. Lisa Galvin came to us, I believe, in the fall of 2009 as our music arranger. Does that sound right, Lisa? And that show was a Beatles show that we did, and I'm so grateful that I made that phone call to her to ask her if she'd be willing to arrange our marching band shows, because quite honestly, her music has changed the Golden Sound of Vikings. It is so different now, and it's so amazing. I know that you would agree with me. We are lucky enough tonight to be performing one of her compositions that was recently published by Barnhouse. She's going to tell you a little bit about it, so I won't do that. But I'm excited that we have a chance to perform her actual published music instead of just arrangements from other composers. So, without further ado, would you all please give a Golden Sound welcome to our guest conductor and composer, Lisa Galvin.
Well, thank you very much. It's more than a pleasure and a real honor to be here this evening. I've had the good fortune of traveling all over the state of Ohio to get to hear this piece and work with students who have chosen to play this piece this past year. And I have to say, I felt like I was coming home when I got to stand in front of these students. I'll talk about them just a little bit more here in a minute. Ms. Smith asked me to speak a bit about the piece. It was written at the request of a professional organization called Phi Beta Mu, International Bandmasters Fraternity, of which I am a member. And I had the good fortune just a couple years back of inducting Ms. Smith into this organization. It is meant to recognize the finest band directors in Ohio and across the nation. And they came to me and asked for a piece of music to honor one of Ohio's first women band directors who had recently passed away a few years back. Her name was Mary Jane McKinley, and she was a quite larger-than-life figure. For many years, she taught in the Nelsonville School District, graduate of Ohio University, and she was one of the great woodwind performers, clarinet, flute. She was a judge for the Ohio Music Education Association, and truly was a trailblazer for not only all of us in this profession, but especially for women in this profession. Being one of the first women to ever stand in front of a band some 60 or 70 years ago. It was a very challenging footpath that she paved for fine directors like the one that you are fortunate to have here in Teays Valley. And so I was very honored to be asked to write this piece and to try to encapsulate Mary Jane's spirit in the piece. She was a very jovial person. She had a hearty belly laugh that would fill an entire room. And she was a very strict tactician when it came to her craft. And she never accepted anything but the very best and then a little bit more from her students and all of those that she judged throughout her probably 50 or 60 year career. She was a woman of great faith, and I wanted to convey that in this piece of music. So you will hear a lyrical section in the middle that is based upon Amazing Grace. You'll also hear a little reference to taps for the passing of Mary Jane back in 2013. And Mary Jane never performed a band concert in her career without ending it with the Hallelujah Chorus. So there's not a direct quote, but an assimilated quote, if you will, of the Hallelujah Chorus near the end of the piece. And the outsides of the work are meant to really just try to convey and capture the spirit that Mary Jane was to not only women in this field, but all of us in this field. It's an honor to be here this evening to work with these students. You all know that they are some of the finest musicians in this state, and you all know that you have indeed one of the finest directors, truly, and music educators in our state, and that's in your friend and mine, Miss Stephanie Smith. I can tell you that she has crafted and molded and shaped, along with her staff, Kim and Taylor, some of the finest musicians anywhere. But from my perspective, they're not only terrific musicians, but they're some of the most extraordinary human beings on this planet as well. So it's a real pleasure to be here tonight. Hope you enjoy Blaze the Trail.